y'all might come for me for this one. That is like a hard no. Kind of icky knowing that like a grown woman wrote it. I'm never gonna read this. Like, I don't know who I thought I was. Hello, my lovely friends. Welcome or welcome back to my vlog channel. It has been a few months since I have done a book unhaul, and I have accumulated quite a stack of books that I am not wanting to keep on my shelves, whether that is because I have other editions of the books, or I didn't enjoy reading the books, or I've just decided that I never want to read them in the first place. I have accumulated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books that I'm going to be unhauling today. And so I thought we could do an unhaul video. I will mostly be listing these on my Pango books, so if you're interested, you can check it out. I'll link it in the description box. But let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Let's waste no time. Now, the first two books I'm unhauling only because I have other editions of them. The first one is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This is the second book in the Icebreaker, like Maple Hills series. I actually have a special edition of this that I got from Probably Smut, and I love it. I'm obsessed with the cover. And honestly, I only gave this book like a 3.5 star, I think. It's not one of my favorites, so I don't think I need to own 2 copies on my shelves. This is high value real estate on these bad boys. So if I don't love a book, I don't want to keep more than 1 copy. So I'm gonna unhaul this one. Same goes for Magnolia Parks Into the Dark by Miss Jessa Hastings. I bought this before my UK edition arrived in the mail, and now that I have my alternate cover, I don't want to keep this edition, but I do actually really love this one. It's so floppy, and the font is like really crisp and pretty. So hopefully it goes to a good home. The next book that I'm unhauling is a special edition. This is from the Dark and Quirky book box. It Has Always Been You by QB Tyler, and it is a really, really pretty edition. I love like the dark sprayed edges. You've got art on the end pages. It's even signed by the author with an art print. Now you might be wondering, Haley, if this book is so gorgeous and so stunning, why are you unhauling it? And that is because I really did not like the story. I really, really could not get behind it. This is a taboo romance about this girl who falls for her adoptive older brother. So she was adopted into this family when she was a baby, and she has this older brother named James, and yeah, they fall in love. But he has known her, I kid you not, since she was an infant. And that is just something that is like a hard no, a hard red line to me in books. I do want to check out more of QB Tyler's books, but I don't really care to have this on my shelf, and I'm sure someone else will appreciate it more than I did. The next book that I'm going to be unhauling, I honestly don't know who I was when I bought this. I randomly picked up Starbringer by Tracy Wolff when it came out. I got a big ass hardcover copy. It was probably expensive. And not only did I not enjoy the Crave series, her like Twilight ripoff YA vampire romance, I also don't like sci-fi. It's just not really a genre that I'm into at this time in my life. And this is about a bunch of people who have to like save the universe, and it's her sci-fi debut. And I don't think I'm ever gonna read this. So I'm gonna unhaul this. Next, we have not 1, not 2, but 3 books from Elle Kennedy. I have read and somewhat enjoyed all 3 of these. We have Rogue, we have The Risk, and we have The Chase. I think I gave them all around like a 2 or 3 star, but they're just not books that I will ever reread or like pick up again. So they're just taking up precious space on my shelf. And so I'm going to get rid of them. The next book I do feel kind of sad about because it was a gift from a subscriber. I always keep the note and everything, but I just always feel so bad unhauling books that people gift me, whether it's like from my wish list or it's like someone in real life. Like I had a family member get me some books for Christmas this past year that I just like will never read, and I still can't bring myself to get rid of them. I have had this, I think, since last year, like the end of 2023, and I have known that Lauren Asher is just not my author. I do not like her writing style. I read the entire Dreamland Billionaires series, and I don't like billionaire romance. I think her books are too long. Lauren Asher is just unfortunately a no-buy author for me. She seems like a lovely girl. She seems so sweet and she seems so nice, but I just don't like her writing. So unfortunately, I'm gonna be unhauling Throttled. This is her debut and it's her F1 romance series. And it does sound more intriguing to me than billionaire romances. I just know there are way more romances on my shelf that I would rather pick up So I'm gonna give this to a new home. Next is a book that I have read that I absolutely hated. This was one of my worst books of 2023 video. It is A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. I even special ordered this gorgeous cover from the UK and it is beautiful, but I hated this book. I will be keeping the first and second books in the trilogy, but I hated the third. So I'm just gonna get it off my shelf. It's also like weirdly taller than other books. It doesn't even match up with the first two books, so it kind of like looks out of place on the shelf anyways. Even Jack's deserved so much better. Thank you. Next is Five Broken Blades by May Corland. This is a new fantasy romance that I got from Book of the Month, so at least it didn't like hurt the wallet or anything. But unfortunately, I ended up DNFing this. It has like 5 or 6 different perspectives, and there's supposed to be like 3 different romances, and they're all on this quest to kill the king. But every single couple had some form of insta-lust, and that is like my #1 pet peeve in romance. Give me slow burn or give me death. I just did not care. I was like 30% of the way into this and I DNF'd it. So now the next book is a book that I did finish. I didn't enjoy it either, but I actually pushed myself to finish it because I wanted to know what happened at the end. And it was not worth it. At this point, I've like scrubbed most of this book from my memory because it was so bad. But this is How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. This was a romantasy that was kind of popping off on Bookstagram. I kept seeing it everywhere. People were saying it was like really unhinged. This felt like ACOTAR if you got it off Temu. That is exactly what I put in my Goodreads review, and I stand by that. And I just don't want it on my shelves. Bye-bye. Next is King of Greed by Anna Huang. This is another book where it's like, girl, why did you buy this? This is the 3rd book in a series, and I have read none of the other books. I have read actually, that's not true. I did read and then DNF Twisted Hate by Anna Huang, but I've just never really been compelled to pick up any of her books. This was like a divorce, kind of like second chance romance, and it sounded interesting, but I'm never gonna read this. Like, I don't know who I thought I was. I bought it. That's how you know I have a problem. I'm working on it, okay? I swear I have a Monica Murphy book in every single unhaul, and so I'm just gonna declare it here and now that Monica Murphy is not the author for me, and I will not be picking up any more of her books. I think my new rule that I've been trying to have with authors is like 3 strikes and you're out, pretty much like baseball. So I read another one of her Lancaster prep books. They're just like new adult, spicy prep school romances. And this one specifically is really, really popular on Book Talk, but I did not enjoy it. I ended up DNFing it as well. I think I just realized like this author is not for me. This was the 3rd strike. If you love this book, that's totally fine. I just did not appreciate how much focus was put on Ren's virginity. Like, I just think it's outdated, it's weird, and I don't want it. I don't want it in my romance. Hearing like freshly 18-year-olds talk about sex and virginity like this was just like kind of icky, knowing that like a grown woman wrote it. Now these last 2 books, oof, y'all might come for me for this one, but the good news is someone else is going to be so happy to get these copies. I just know it. I am unhauling both Divine Rivals and Rebecca Ross, and I got these gorgeous editions from the UK just because I loved the covers so much. I had so much hope that I was gonna love this series, and I did not, I fear. I only read the first one. I read it for my book club. I have a Patreon book club. We read a new romance book every month. It's an ASMR book club. Join it. And I even annotated it as I went. I had so many expectations going in. This book is everywhere. People love it. And I felt like this first book did not focus on the plot or the world building at all. It was just all about the romance. And then, spoiler warning, you get amnesia trope at the end. And apparently in this book, you start all over and she has to remember everything and then you get the lore. And like, I just don't care. I don't want to do that. You already wasted this much of my time and I couldn't get invested in the romance. It felt very surface level. On the front lines at war, like falling in love, like I want to hear about the gods that are at war in the background. I didn't like the way that this story was written and like the way it played out, but a lot of people really do love this and I can see why people would love it. I definitely think it isn't like written poorly. I liked some of the prose. It was very beautiful, but I will be unhauling both of these copies, even though they are gorgeous. props to the cover designers. These are so beautiful. And that's it. Those are all the books that I'm going to be unhauling. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I have more shelf room. That means I can go buy some more books. So maybe we should do a book haul sometime soon. It won't be for a little while. I do need to get some more of my TBR tackled before I buy some more books. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I tend to post every Thursday. And if you're interested in ASMR, I also have an ASMR channel where I post 3 times a week and I post daily over on my Instagram. So definitely follow me. Hope to see you elsewhere on the internet. And I'm sending you lots of love and light. Bye.